So then, did you even go to high school?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, so from Bret Hart, boom, I started out Horace Mann, boom, I went to Horace Mann. So I got kicked out of Horace Mann. So basically, I got kicked out of. So let me transition. So I got to tell you, how I got kicked out of Bret Hart. I got kicked out of Bret Hart for fighting my boy Christopher, my boy Christopher Thomas. He had later on ended up turning Main Street, being Tiny Craze from Main Street. So me and him, I had like a little disagreement about something, and he had like pulled up on me and was like questioning me about some stuff. Oh, me and him had jacked somebody. So me and him had jacked somebody. Somehow he had got identified as being the jacker, and I didn't. So like he was mad about that. So he pulled up on me after school, questioning me, talking about like, "Hey, bro, how my name got put up in this and blah blah blah, and you didn't get in trouble, woo woo." So he was being like aggressive. So him being aggressive, I got off on him. You know what I'm saying? We squabbled up. You know what I'm saying? I got kicked out. So when me and him squabbled up, you know what I'm saying? We squabbled up on the side of the school. We didn't get caught or none of that, but somehow him leaving school and going to get some older people. I guess, you know what I'm saying, he went and got his older brother from Main Street and some other dudes from Main Street, and they came up to Bret Hart, but I wasn't there. They came up there after school, I guess, looking for me, and somehow, and I wasn't there or whatever that day, or I went to school that day, but I guess I just missed them or whatever the case may be. So the dean caught wind of that situation. You know what I'm saying? I came to school like that next day. They called me in the office and they just told me like, "Hey, look, man, we gonna have to give you a transfer up out of here, but we kicking you out, but it's like we kicking you out because of this, because he bringing grown people up here, and we don't want you to bring no grown people up here, and there don't be no situation. So we gonna just send you to a school closer to your neighborhood," which was Horace Mann, and then that's how I started going to Horace Mann. I went to Horace Mann. I was finishing out the last part of the school year, the 7th grade at Horace Mann, but I was at Horace Mann selling little bags of weed, and somebody had told on me. And I just remember, like, I was in one of my classes. I don't remember what subject it was. I would just remember the teacher telling me that, they requested me in the dean office. So the whole time I'm digging in my pocket, I got a pocket full of money. I'm looking for like the weed bags I got in my pocket. I got so much money and stuff in one pocket that I can't feel the weed. So when I can't feel the weed, I'm going through my pocket, and I want to say, man, this shit was so crazy. I even emptied out my pocket and still didn't find the weed. So I'm like, okay, I sold all the bags of weed. I put everything back in my pocket. Man, I go to the dean office. They call me in there. Like, what you down here for? I'm like, no. They like, man, we hear you selling narcotics on the school grounds. I'm like, no, I ain't selling no narcotics. Ooh, this and that. They like, you mind if we search you? I'm like, yeah, y'all can search me. Man, these people search me, man. The dude go right in my pocket and pull the weed right out. So I'm looking like I wanted, like, nigga, like, man, you planted that. But I know the baggies I had. So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, man, I just went in my pockets before I walked down here and didn't find the weed. So how the hell he go in my pockets and pull this weed out?
Did you have multiple pockets like these pants do?
Man, I had the khaki pants on. I had the 2 front pockets and the 2 back pockets. And he went in the pocket that I had the money on. The money in that I told y'all that he went in there and pulled some weed out.
You was probably high also.
Man, something happened for sure. Something happened. So that's how I got kicked up out of Horace Mann. So after I got kicked up out of Horace Mann, that's when the continuation school started. They like, yeah, ain't no more regular schools for you, man. You and been to 3, 4 different junior highs, man. So we just gonna go ahead and send you to the continuation.
But continuation is like half a day, right? It's not all day.
No, I used to go there all day. I go there in the morning. It was like shit, like from 8 to like 2:30.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, like 2 o'clock, something like that. Good, like 6. Yeah, it was good 6 hours, 6, 7 hours. If I ain't mistaken. Yeah, it was like from like 8 to 2:30 or something like that. Nope. What's the first continuation school I went to? 42nd and Western.
Was that on the campus of another school, or is its own?
Right on the corner is like a little building. So back in the day, they said there used to be a bank right there, old bank. But right on 42nd and Western in the 40s.
Okay. But then eventually you go to Washington High School.
Yeah.
Is that where you start off?
High school, for sure.
Okay. Now, Washington High School is nothing but rolling hundreds, right?
By the time I went to Washington, I already had been from A-Trey like a year and a half, like 2 years. Like, yeah, for sure. And I went to Washington from A-Trey, for sure.
So that was not really a good choice of school to go to.
That was my home school. Where else I'm gonna go? I mean, I ain't like, I ain't gonna lie. As I got older, I've got mindful. Back when I was younger, like my boy right here, man, like he'll tell you, bro, like I was like a lot of people tell you like I was burnt out, like without trying to be burnt out, like how people be acting burnt out, like just giving my dedication to the gang and like, you know what I'm saying, being like a full-time participant. Like a lot of shit that I wouldn't do today, like I was doing back there without a question, without thinking about it. It was like, what? Like that ain't even that ain't even nothing to think about. Like that's what we own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my push was for Trey Gangsters. Like I was putting the gang before myself for sure.
Now, all the high schools on the west side are all neighborhood high schools, huh? Crenshaw,
Pretty much.
Washington,
Yeah.
and even Manual Arts, right?
Most definitely.
Am I missing any other high school?
That's west side. It's still on the west side.
So no matter where you go, it is what it is.
That's what's gonna have to be, because I gotta go to school. But I've been telling you, I gotta go to school. I gotta get kicked out. It ain't no other way for me not to face this head on. Like I gotta go here to get kicked out. It ain't that I think about it first, like, oh, mom, I can't go here. And like as bad as I was, I think mom, like she, even sweet as she was, I don't think she probably would even understood it. Like what? Like as much as you in the streets and shit you doing, what you mean you can't go here? Like, so it's like for me, I gotta go, and then just if something happens, it's like it's gonna happen. But you know, I'm gonna protect myself. Like I understood, like already at that time, like I'm gonna protect my sovereignty for sure. Like I'm not just coming here empty-handed. Like if it gotta go like that, it gotta go like that. But you know, I'm just coming to go to school, you know, but I'm from where I'm from. You know, I'm not gonna denounce that. And by this time, like I was already known. I already had been in camp programs, been in jail. So it was just like, yeah, that's what it was. And you know, I went there and like, you know, I didn't have no problems, you feel me? Like I said, I had 2 incidents, and I think the 2 incidents I had, I explained them on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Them like in some of my YouTube stories, the 2 little run-ins I did have with the Hundreds or whatever. But yeah, I definitely went there though, for sure. And I ain't the only A-Trey that went there. Like when I went there, like a lot of my homies went there. Like a lot of my homies went there. Like I know 3 or 4 of my homies that went there, like